day by day. They happen over tens of thousands of years. But each individual of those variables impact climate on Earth. For example, when it talk about the Green Sahara, they believe the most likely reason has to do with the Earth's precessional cycle. I'm like, well, wait a second. Where's this in the conversation of modern day climate change? If we're talking about us destroying the planet, I would just like an answer as far as where these three variables are in the conversation.
Did you see the Washington Post's very inconvenient data that they published about the temperature of Earth?
No, please tell me.
So you find the Washington Post climate study. They found that we're in a massive cooling period. If you go back, you know, X amount of 100,000 years, and you look at like what's happening to, it goes in cycles, but that's what it looks like now.
Right.
Captures Earth's climate over the last 485 million years. Look at the dip we're in, and look how it's never static. It's down and up and down and up and down and up all throughout the history of the Earth, which is measurable. And it's not to say that we don't have an impact on it. We definitely do.
That's a pretty sharp increase there, but yeah.
But here's the thing: even if we didn't, but there's sharp increases in the past.
There's a couple other ones.
Look at those back. Look at 390 million years ago. Look at that giant peak. That's fucking crazy. That's straight up and down.
Yep.
It's always happened. It's not like it's static and then industrial engineering comes along and then you see this big increase. Oh boy, what are we doing to the Earth? No, it's like even if we didn't do anything, we have no control over the temperature of the Earth. And what's really terrifying, Randall Carlson talks about this all the time, is global cooling. Mm-hmm. That's what's really terrifying. When global warming happens, oh no, you got to move out of Malibu. You're going to be okay?
Hey,
you got to move to the places where it used to be cold and now it's warm because humans have always been nomadic. That's the whole reason why we're not in Africa anymore.
Will fucking kill us all.
Right. So global cooling will kill everything. And we came, Randall talks about this, that we came very close at one point in human history. We came very close to losing the oxygen that's required to literally keep life.
Yeah.
Jamie, will you bring up my Ice Age or Ice folder? So I have an update from you from the last time I was on your podcast. Go over to the graph. It should be one of the first slides. That one. Go hang out right there for a second. So when I was on your show last time, Joe, I said something very specific where I said, I think this is with my exact words. I think the data might indicate that cold is more often than it's hot. And do you know what happened after that? I was going to send this to you, but I held off because you've seen enough hit pieces. So there was a hit piece done on me by Media Matters, which was funded by George Soros, and their networking of Vox and they did this hit piece on me to say that Jimmy Corsetti was on Joe Rogan spreading climate change denial and inaccurate information. The only thing, if you could bring that back up, Jamie, please. The only thing that I said wrong is that I said the data might indicate that the Earth is cold more often than hot. Excuse me, no. The data absolutely, definitively shows that Earth is cold more often than it's hot. And what you're looking at here is straight out of the Utah Geological Survey. It's prestigious. It's found at the top of Google. And what you're looking at here is data from the last 450,000 years, corroborated from data taken from ice core samples from Antarctica as well as Greenland. And what it shows is that not only are we in the middle of a 3 million year old ice age, there's something called glacials and interglacials. Glacials are where it's cold and the glaciers grow. Interglacials are where things warm and the glaciers recede. What you're seeing here is 4, arguably 5 interglacial periods over just the last 450,000 years. So never mind hundreds of millions of years ago. What it shows is that the periods of cooling last 7 to 9 times longer than interglacials, which are periods of warming. And here's what the fun part. Interglacials last anywhere from 10 to 30,000 years, and our warming started 11,600 years ago, which means that we're already in the window for potential catastrophe for things to start cooling again. So when I was on your show last time and I was mentioning Elon Musk talking about ice ages being a deep, deep rabbit hole, do you remember that? He was talking about it? Well, I know what he's talking about. It's this. It means that we're already in the window where things could start cooling again, and when it does, we're in a lot of trouble. I think, and I can't speak on his behalf, I got to tell you, next time, could you just text him and ask him if he thinks it's related to pole shifts? I need to tighten up my study on this because because let me tell you something. Let me share something right now that you've never heard on this show before. You hear everyone talking about cosmic impact hypothesis. You hear people talking about sun cycles. Not a lot of people have been on here talking about pole shifts. Let me give a quick shout out to Ben Davidson of Suspicious Observers. I recommend maybe you link up with him. Nobody has researched the topic of pole shifts and sun cycles as much as him. And he brought something to my attention I had never heard before. Jamie, the very first slide that you showed was of the Gothenburg excursion. So there was a partial pole flip right in the middle. See how it dates between 13,007 and 12,003? So the Younger Dryas started 12,800 years ago. And it's right in the middle of that ballpark range. We already know, it is established science that when geomagnetic pole excursions happen, it changes weather patterns on Earth as well as the ocean current. Jamie, if you want to Google, there's a space.com article titled that in 2025, some scientists are suggesting that the Earth's ocean currents may stop. Have you heard this?
No.
Okay. And nowhere in the articles do they mention anything about pole excursions. So people need to understand that we're already in the middle of a pole excursion, which is a partial pole flip, which means that things are shifting inside the Earth. It's also known that that can cause changes in ocean current. Now, most mainstream articles, let me just be fair and tell you what they'll say. They'll say that, oh, no, it's related to man-made climate change. We're changing the currents of the ocean. I don't believe that.